What's up? We are live. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? It's another
good,
Wednesday.
Doing good. Doing
another retouch this. What's going on, Brian?
Look forward to retouching some shit, dude. Let's do it.
Nice. Yeah. We got a good one for today, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm really excited for this one. What's going on today? So today,
you got some announcements, right? You got some beef. You got a little beef.
Oh my God. Yeah. We got some beef just to start off with. We almost didn't even make it today. So, guys, we do this live stream at 5 o'clock and, there's a lot of prep work that goes into this. And, we almost got pulled off of YouTube before we even got started. And, what we had today at, around 2 o'clock or so. Let me show you guys this. We got a little notice from YouTube that, we were getting the video removed. Right here, John Cocozza, your content has been removed from YouTube. What content? We hadn't even streamed yet. So basically, guys, like when you are going to do a stream, then you set it up and it's in a queue right here. So it was sitting there in a queue. We hadn't even streamed yet, nothing. And we wanted to let you know that our team reviewed your content and we think it violates the sex and nudity policy. Interesting, because we hadn't done anything yet.
Haven't seen it yet, but we think.
Okay. So apparently now we're in the minority report, guys, where YouTube has developed some sort of time machine system that they can go into the future by 3 hours and see what you're going to do. And then they're going to remove it before you even do it. So we had, just to be clear, we had not even streamed yet. All we had done was place the placeholder that we were going to stream. And apparently I violated the sex and nudity policy before I had even streamed the show yet. So we know you may not have realized this, that this was a violation of our policies. I didn't. Brian, did you?
No.
I gotta plead ignorance on that one, guys. I really do. So we're not applying a strike to your channel. Oh, well, thank you so much, YouTube. Where we really appreciate that. However, we have removed the following content: the retouch this Isstar interview, Falcon Winter Soldier. Man, that sounds pretty hot, man.
Yeah, that's pretty risky stuff right there, dude.
Yeah. We realize this may be disappointing news, but it's our job to make sure that YouTube is a safe place for all. Because Cardi B WAP video, Little Nas's grinding on the devil demon, that's okay for YouTube. But damn it if you're going to do an interview with Isstar and talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Brian, what were you thinking?
I mean, I think my point is kind of being proven here. I haven't really gone full on into it, but ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, bros and hoes, Skynet is active. Skynet. I mean, come on. YouTube, first of all, YouTube, we're cool, man. We like you. We watch tons of shit on it. We put content up there, whatever. We're not big fish, so to speak, like people with 50 million fucking followers or whatever. But seriously, you're going to flag us for an episode that hasn't even aired yet, that's teasing the concept of us talking about a Marvel show and a model. I mean, I think Skynet. I mean, I know it's active. I know it's happening, and I think this is just, the small little incremental things I can start pointing to. So not shocked, but hey, we're here.
No, I'm not shocked at this point either. I honestly, we did a whole episode about this, and I really wanted to touch on the subject because this is what I've been dealing with for, I don't know, a year, 2 years now, just with YouTube. And I mean, this pretty much, if you were thinking maybe people are flagging my channel or flagging my content or something like that, this content hadn't even been created yet. It hadn't even gone out on the web yet. Okay. So that means that either the AI bot with YouTube is set to just attack me, or like I think there is somebody working at YouTube that is actively undermining my content that I create. They're just sitting there. I'm probably flagged. And then they sit there, they see me load something. They're just like, oh, I'm going to fuck with them. Boom, dump. So, you know, we're in prep for this show and they're just deleting the thing before we've got a guest coming on. So
if there is an actual person, how boring is this guy's job? I mean, holy fuck, dude. Like, if
I feel honored.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well. I mean, if you look, I mean, dude, I'm useless. I got 9 I've got 9 views lifetime on YouTube. Anything I have is from this show, and if they're actively targeting, I think there's a lot bigger targets doing a lot more messed up stuff, but we'll push through. We'll persevere, dude.
Yeah, it's well, you know, we went over this before. Cardi B WAP, 363 million views on YouTube, no age restriction at all. The whole video is about sexual genitalia and sex, and it's actively promoted by YouTube. Little Nas's video, he's literally giving a lap dance to the devil and hooking up with the devil. No age restriction.
363 million for WAP. That's just for people realize there's 300 million people in America. That means I know some people watched it more than once, but that means everyone in America potential. I mean, and they're cool with that.
Yeah. Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, nude models, half nude models, Victoria's Secret lingerie models, no age restrictions, nothing. But damn it, if you're going to talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, damn it.
bunch of dudes in tights and leather outfits, right? Like, I mean,
yeah, I just picture like I wish I had the cutscene rolled up, but I just picture Quest for the Holy Grail. I just picture all the YouTube people in the office, burn them, burn them, burn. You know, she's a witch. You know,
right? I mean, I would think, you know, like there's one thing we love in America, so I think that YouTube would promote what he screams at the end of Braveheart.
Oh, I know. Absolutely. That's, dude, beyond belief, man. You just caught me with that. I didn't even have that.
Oh, sorry.
Freedom!
People. Freedom.
Freedom.
That's all
That's what we love here in America. That's what we're all about. Man. Freedom of speech.
Come on,
freedom to pursue your dreams.
Look, if we start dropping snuff films, fine. You know, kick us off, send us to jail. But we are far, far from that line, people.
I know, man. Dude, it's 2021. It's just girls in bikinis, man. That's all we are. But this goes back to, okay, everybody out there, real quick. I'll hold on for a second, Brian. Let me tell you guys. This is exactly what we're talking about. This is why I need you guys to subscribe. You know, when I check the analytics of the videos and all the shows, a majority of people aren't even subscribed to the channel that are watching the views. I'll get 30,000 views on a video and nobody, you know, the subscription to that is like 87% is not subscribed. So please click that subscribe button. And the best thing you guys can do, honestly, is like, comment, and share these videos. Share them with buddies. If your wife doesn't want you watching it, just direct message it to like 5 or 6 friends. Dude, that's all we need you to do, man. It just really helps us out to combat this kind of bullshit that we get from YouTube. And if you guys really, really want to support, if you want to support me monetarily and help the channel, then basically what we could do is I have something called Bikini Girl Magazine, which I will pull up right here. And this is my project. I've been photographing. This is what Retouch is. I've been photographing models for over 20 years. And we come on stream here and we sit down and I go through and I edit photos and videos of girls. But then this is my side project, guys. You can check this out, Bikini Girl Magazine. And this is the way to support. Come here. I'm going to take this off right there. And you guys get the digital magazine every single month. We send it to you. You can download it straight to your cell phone. You get all the hot content and all the behind the scenes videos that I can't show on YouTube and social media because they absolutely hate us. And then what you can do is you can go over to Bikini Girl Magazine on YouTube channel, and you can see here that some of the videos have 1,300 views, 400, 800, but I only have 275 subscribers, which means that YouTube is basically like not showing this content. And you can see that we need some subscribers over there on that channel. And that's if you guys want to help out the project. And what were you going to say, Brian? Sorry for cutting you off.
I was just going to touch back on, I mean, Victoria's Secrets. First of all, the mailer that used to go out that you get at your house.
Yeah,
might as well basically substituted a subscription to Playboy. It was pure spank material. Yeah. I am not, again, I mean, don't do a ton on YouTube, but I'm starting to look around more, and I've seen the Victoria's Secret stuff. Again, it's straight spank material, dude. Like, you guys can call yourselves models, whatever you want to do. You're peddling sex. So if we're peddling and you're peddling, I don't really see, I guess, other than the fact that you're a major, conglomerate or whatever, but I don't see the difference.
Well, what is it? It's a sexy lingerie company. That's what it is.
That I thought was going under because of COVID, weren't they? Hey, we're gonna they had to fold or something, but no, apparently not. They're fine. They're still going forward. I thought I heard that. I thought Victoria's Secret was going under, but probably more COVID bullshit.
Well, I think that Victoria's Secret pulled their fashion show off TV. I think they got too much pressure from the woke mob, and I think that they might have pulled the actual lingerie fashion show off television. I think that was the big thing that they used to do every year. Yeah, but, because once again, it's a war on beautiful women. It's a war on beautiful girls showing their bodies, like showing their sexuality. And then, even though we're all supposed to, apparently girls are not allowed to do that for some reason. I don't know what's up with that. So
I'm assuming it's violating some Skynet protocol.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, in the background, Skynet, again, definitely involved. My theory.
Well, speaking of beautiful women, let me do real quick now. I can introduce you guys to the lovely Nikki Gray. And Nikki Gray is who we're going to be editing the photos of today. So I went back into my archives and I found this photo shoot that I had done with Nikki. And when I had done the shoot, I just got really busy after that. And I had edited some photos for her that I'd send over. But then I literally have been sitting on like 400 to 500 shots from this shoot. This was actually done back in, I think, 2010, 2011. So 10 years ago, I had actually shot with her when she first turned like 18, and we did some stuff and we got stuff published immediately. Obviously, I mean, look how smoking hot she is. But she came down to, I think it was during Comic-Con, actually, she was here, and somebody she was dating at the time, this really rich guy, was doing something with Comic-Con, and she was down here and she's like, hey, let's shoot. So we went over to La Jolla, California, and we found some rock formations. And this is just one of the outfits that we did that day. I mean, she was just fantastic to work with because, as you can tell, there's no bad shots. She's one of those girls that's, just put her in front of the camera and, basically she would have to be taking a poop for it to be like a bad photo. So,
well, and that, I mean, questionable. That some people might be really.
Some people might like that, actually. Yeah,
really into that. Yeah, I mean,
some people.
I mean, I've heard the term scat party, so.
Oh, dude, come on.
I'm not going to go any further. I'm just saying I've heard the term.
Oh man, that's funny.
I want to point something out too about some of the photos that I noticed, and I want to make a blanket statement here because I've been hearing this term. And look, ladies, we love you, like all shapes, sizes, personalities. Like, you're great. We love you, but you constantly try and find these inside things about guys that you think you're so right on about, and man, you guys are way off most of the time. So I want to point something out here. In one of the first photos, if you noticed, this girl clearly has, and I'm going to use the term that women use, the thigh gap, the envious thigh gap. There, perfect example. I want to be very clear with you ladies.
The gap.
Nobody calls, maybe, like somewhere in the lexicon, yes, thigh gap is being used. That is not what it's called, first of all. Second of all, what it has been called it for probably 25, 30 years, at least by guys our age. It's got a wonderful name. It's way more imaginative. I mean, how remedial is thigh gap? That actually doesn't even really make sense. So I want to let you know that. Also, I'm not going to tell you what it's actually called, and neither is John, because that's, as guys, we're losing, we have very few things we can hold on to. So I'm going to keep that one. And then there's like a second version of the thigh gap, and that's when above the knee and in the inner thigh, actually barely touches, almost forming like kind of a little, diamond or something that you can see, because you can see her legs, like they physically they won't touch, but some girls will just touch barely, but still not in between the upper thigh and the knees. That too has a secondary name, which I also will not be sharing. But I just want to say, this young lady, bravo to her parents, because she must eat really well. That's a nice physique.
Yeah, but apparently her mom was. She used to say, like, she showed me photos of her mom. Her mom was gorgeous. So
I thought you were going to say horny.
Yeah, I mean, and I think her dad was like a missile tech or something like that. Worked on like missiles or something like that, aeronautical. So she got some good genes. She definitely, she had the smart dad and she had the hot mom. So that was pretty cool.
Good deal.
But let's get to the first topic while I'm editing these photos, and that is, there may be some big changes coming down the road at Lucasfilm. Now, I don't know if many of you or people out there are huge Star Wars fans. Myself, I am. Brian, yes, you're right. You love Star Wars.
So, a little bit of disclaimer here. I like Star Wars.
Okay.
I like Star Wars. I have to say, I have this buddy, Teddy, and I worked with him for a while. And I remember the first time I was kind of asking about like Star Wars, and it's like year 3 or 4 of Game of Thrones. And now I'd never heard this. He goes, "No, man, I'm not into it." And I was like, "Which one?"
Wow.
Well, dude, I go, "Which one?" He goes, "Neither." I was like, "You're telling me you've never seen Star?" He goes, "I didn't say that." He goes, "No, I haven't seen any of the new ones. And no, I don't watch Game of Thrones." He goes, "I don't do realms." I don't do any realms. And I was kind of like, okay. But I'm not going to lie. Like, he kind of had me thinking, like, oh, I loved Game of Thrones. I'm one of the few people, I have zero problems with any episode or any season. But I like Star Wars. I do agree that it's getting complicated. They're the last 2 or 3 years in some of the movies, even for me, who doesn't, maybe because I don't go in like so with such high expectations, that I can tamper that a little bit. But I do agree that there have been some interesting moves and things that I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm more in just to like, because there was probably a time, yes, probably like, high school years and a little bit before. Absolutely, the lightsaber, greatest weapon in the universe. Darth Vader, the baddest motherfucking dude in the universe, best villain of all time. So there are some things, I'll say there's some things I love about Star Wars, but in general, I really like. But I don't like, John. Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy.
And that's what we're talking about today, guys.
Don't know her, don't like her. I like everybody.
Don't like her.
And I like about everybody. So she's blowing it. She is the captain of Team Blowing It right now. I'm not talking about dicks. Because if I would, that'd be rude. I'm not even trying to be foul about it. I'm just like, first of all, why the fuck? Who the fuck nominates her to head up? I mean, I don't get it. I don't feel like she probably grew up a Star Wars fan. I think she grew up a money fan. Like, she gets the dollars that can be generated. But I don't. And after you told me about how she totally blew Galaxy's Edge, and what the one dude, the proposal was for it to basically be like Epcot, but the goddamn Epcot globe was a borderline working Death Star.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't get it. You know a little bit more about it, but go ahead.
Well, so let's give some people some backstory out there. So basically, what we're dealing with is that when George Lucas sold Lucasfilm, he chose Kathleen Kennedy to head Lucasfilm because he thought that she had the best interest. She had said she was going to honor the stories and honor the characters, and basically just like a lot of, blowing smoke up George's ass. Then they got bought by Disney, and she was running it. And we know what happened with the sequels. Okay. You could have put out, a chimpanzee swinging a lightsaber for The Force Awakens, and it still would have made $1 billion. because people were so desperate to go see the new Star Wars. Okay. Well, over time, people kind of realized, they're like, well, wait a minute. J.J. Abrams just basically took A New Hope and just reskinned it, and it's the same story. And then as the movies progressed, they made less and less and less money. Now you got to remember, Star Wars was bought for, Lucasfilm was bought for $4 billion by Disney. Okay. They still have not made their money back. Not only did they purchase Lucasfilm for $4 billion, but they also built Galaxy's Edge for over $1 billion. And initially, somebody had submitted plans and did this design of a Star Wars land with a Epcot in the middle as the Death Star, and you could go to all the different movies, and it still had incorporated the sequels. No. Star Wars had to be everything that Kathleen Kennedy created. So it was all sequel film bullshit that nobody wanted to see. And now the rumor is online, thanks to guys like Drunk 3PO's channel, who does a park hopping channel and goes and talks with the employees. They're just overwhelmed with people asking for Mandalorian merchandise. And they want to know where the Mandalorian stuff is. Where's Baby Yoda? Where's Cara Dune? Where's the Mando stuff? Which you could not find in Galaxy's Edge. You're going to Star Wars land and it's not there. Yeah, go ahead.
Shout out to Drunk 3PO. I mean, that guy's great. Like, great.
Great.
Just wanted, literally, that's it. That's all I wanted to throw in.
Guys, go follow his channel if you don't. And he's dealing with some censorship bullshit right now too, because he's very outspoken against Lucasfilm. So go follow Drunk 3PO. So basically what happened was, there's been a lot of problems with Lucasfilm, a lot of problems with Lucasfilm executives, attacking fans, going after fans online. I mean, like, let's think about this. You're working as an executive and then attacking the people who are trying to purchase your stuff. And I mean, flat out, like, Lucasfilm executives and in charge of the story group attacking some of the biggest YouTubers online that are just trying to celebrate Star Wars. And this is all under Kathleen Kennedy's leadership. Not to mention the just total shit show of production, the hiring and firing of directors on all these major motion pictures, finishing Rogue One to almost 90%, and then firing Gareth Edwards for that. The bombing of Solo lost money. I mean, it's just astounding. Like, anybody in the corporate world, if you were doing what Kathleen Kennedy did, you would be fired. So what's happened now is there's a really famous writer. His name is Cameron Pasha, and he's a writer from Hollywood. He's a Muslim writer. He's been in the town for decades, really smart guy. And he's been going on this channel called Midnight's Edge. And he's been basically spilling the beans from what he's hearing from people inside these companies. And it was probably about 2 months ago that he basically laid out what was going to happen at Lucasfilm, the process of which, how they would get rid of Kathleen Kennedy. And he had said in this, and I suggest you guys go watch the Midnight's Edge video to do this and validate this. He had said that you will start seeing the signs of her getting fired when you start to see, like, legitimate newspapers or media criticizing the finances of Disney and Lucasfilm. When it gets to that point, and literally 2 weeks later, Forbes released this scathing article on Bob Chapek, the CEO, and just went after him about he's running Disney into the ground. Then they had a Disney investors call, and the investors were asking Bob Chapek directly on this call, are you going to fire this lady, Kathleen Kennedy? Because she's running the company into the ground. Then you had the whole Gina Carano situation. So basically what happened last week was, if you guys are on YouTube and you're in the know, there's a guy called Doomcock. He has a channel called Overlord DVD. He gets all of these rumors that's happening in Hollywood. He got the Lucasfilm leaks, like for Rise of Skywalker before it came out. He got the script before it came out. He's pretty legit. And he said last week that he got from multiple sources that Kathleen Kennedy has been stripped of power.
If anybody is going to know that, it's going to be Doomcock, which might be the greatest handle in the history of handles. Something else. Hey, quick question. Back to Galaxy's Edge. Okay, so if I'm correct, I live in Hollywood, California, like smack dab, Sunset Gower, people, like middle of Hollywood. So there's one down right, like is there one in both, in Anaheim at the Disney and in Orlando Disney? There's one at both, right?
There's one in both.
Do you think the play here, when Disney was actually buying the film or whatever, or the Star Wars and the Lucas shit. Do you think that was their play? Theme park, like that's where they think the money is. I think that's where they think the money is.
Oh, theme park and merchandise, 100%.
Because that's Disney. That's Disney's bread and butter. And
Yep.
I know people here. Okay, have I been to fucking Disneyland? Which way? I'm sorry, I live in Disney World is Florida. Disneyland is California. Am I correct?
Yep.
Okay, I've been to Disney World twice in my life. I was under the age of 16 both times. I've never been to the one here, and that's basically for the same reason that I don't dress up for Halloween anymore. It's because I'm not in the third fucking grade. But the amount of people that I've met that are Californians that buy season passes.
Yep.
I mean, it I'm like, wait a minute, a season pass. Like, I get it if you go once or twice a summer, maybe 3 or 4 times if you got kids. These people do not have kids. These people are college age, little mid, and they're going 15, 20, 25. I don't think any of that's happening with Galaxy's Edge. And my point is basically being, I think the Disney play, they just said everything they had to about moving the films forward and the Star Wars universe forward and blah, blah, blah. And I think they felt like that was almost automatic. And I think that their play is the theme parks. And I think, if I'm right, I think that proves that they almost don't really give a shit that much if the movies make that much money. It's just, and the funniest thing is, though, is nobody seems to be going to Galaxy's Edge. Now, I mean, I know COVID isn't a great time or a great time to use a barometer on that, but it's been around for a couple of years, I think. I haven't met one person. No, I take that back. I know two people in California since its inception that have been to Galaxy's Edge. One of them said, yeah, it was cool. And the other one was just like, no, it kind of sucked, dude. Like, everything was stupid expensive, like off the charts expensive.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, she's blowing it, man. I mean, blowing it. I can't, again, I get it. And we live in America, so we'll see these people get put into power into big organizations or whatever. And, yeah, maybe she went to a big university or something or whatever.
No.
But no, okay.
No.
I mean, I was going to say if she was like part of the Harvard crew or Yale, whatever, but dude, it makes no sense. Like, what fucking credentials on earth? She doesn't even seem like a Star Wars fan. Does she have to have ever been put in that position? But
no, if you watch her in interviews, if you were to sit down and start asking her questions about Darth Revan or lore or anything like that, anything from the Old Republic, anything like that, she wouldn't have a clue what you were talking about. Not to mention, let's toss in, so they did the sequel trilogy, and then there was this split, right? So Jon Favreau was taking Lucasfilm into the direction of The Mandalorian, all that. Well, Kathleen Kennedy created this story group where she brought in all these writers who were extremely woke SJW writers, and they were going to create the new whole, basically like phase 4 of Star Wars Lucasfilm, what they're going to roll with. This is the creation. So they spent millions of dollars to create something called the High Republic. And this takes place in Yoda's lifetime, but hundreds of years before what the first Star Wars movie basically took place. Sure. So we're going ahead in time a couple hundred years, and the stuff bombed. It bombed. Like, it got bad reviews. If we go on to Disney Lucasfilm's websites right now on YouTube, their stuff is getting downvoted like crazy. It's just garbage. They have a character called Geode. It's a pilot of a ship, and it's a rock. Just a rock. A solid rock. No arms, no legs. He's a pilot of a ship, and he's a rock. That's what they're writing. That's the extent. We've literally gone from Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, to them writing a rock as a character. No arms and legs, just a piece of rock. And he's piloting a ship. You know,
when it comes to, all right, so I totally understand, like, it's 2021, SJW culture, cancel culture, what have you. These are folks, a lot of times, that in their experience so far growing up, they have always kind of been on the back burner. They've always kind of gotten treated somewhat poorly, you could say. And they have a strong argument that they're correct. And I get that. And their voices should be heard and things like that. But I don't understand sometimes, why don't they create something new? and with just something completely different, completely. Like, not use Star Wars. And with Star Wars, bring, like, for instance, I would think, and I don't understand Hollywood's relationship, or I should say his relationship with Hollywood, but as just like, I watch everything, people, by the way. I'll watch everything, and people are like, hey, did you like that? I'm like, oh, not really. I'll still watch it. Like, I will still watch it. I will find certain things to like, but if, like, the long and short of it is, like, well, your overall opinion, it might be I didn't like it, or I did like it, or I loved it, whatever. But Kevin Smith, like, as far as I can tell, like, this dude's got a show called Comic Book Men. Like, anything comics, Star Wars, things like that. Like, dudes like that. Like, I don't even think that they're consulted. I think I've heard whispers that maybe he had small windows. But long and short of it, like, you go back and look at his career, they're never going to pick him in this culture. But a dude like him, or guys that really fucking care, like, they care about it.
Yeah.
And let them in the room and then start crafting some of these. And I don't even like saying woke, man. Like, no offense. Like, I don't even know what that fucking means. Like, I do, but I don't. Like, I think it's a poor choice of words. But I understand the plight. I understand what it represents and what people are trying to tell me. Like, that I get. I just don't necessarily love this, just naming everything, all these whatever. But yeah, I can see that now. I'm not very well, I don't know what the High Republic really is. I'm not super in depth. Again, I like Star Wars. I haven't gone super down the rabbit hole, but it sounds like had wildly great potential. Like, just saying that, like, if you were to come up to me, hey, dude, Linsley, have you seen the new Star Wars, The High Republic? And I hadn't heard anything about it. Like, no, but that sounds fucking sweet. And it just sounds like they blew it again. They can't get out of their own fucking way. Here's the thing. Some things from the past don't work, and yes, change is good. Other things, they really work. Like, they work. That's why people keep using them. You don't have to create something new. And by the way, just people in general, change doesn't fucking mean better. Change also doesn't fucking mean worse. Change means I don't fucking know. You change it, it could be amazing. You change it, it could fucking suck. You change it, a whole bunch of people like the new change. You change it, a whole bunch of people don't like the change. And guess what? Then all of a sudden, a few years later, the people who love the change, all of a sudden, it kind of had some repercussions they didn't notice, and now they hate it. So change does not fucking mean better, people. Just, change. You say that like it makes everything better. It doesn't. You don't fucking know what it means. That's what I got. Sorry.
No, yeah, dude, I'll jump in there and take over, man. It's like tag team wrestling. Dude, there we go.
You were talking about her for a second.
The thing with Star Wars is that I used to love mythology as a kid. I used to read about mythology, the Greeks, the Romans, the Egyptians, all that stuff. And these defining stories of those ages that lived throughout time, the Helen of Troy, Achilles, all this different stuff, Zeus, and whether you enjoy Star Wars or not, when it comes to the 20th century, in terms of literature, in terms of culture, Star Wars is our mythology. That's the mythology that's going to last generations and generations and hundreds of years. People will be talking about it. So it was the biggest IP in the history of the 20th century. It was bigger than Lord of the Rings, and it's bigger than Harry Potter. And there's nothing else out there that can get that can be as big as this, because Star Wars, when it came out, it revolutionized filmmaking. It changed the entire film industry that had been set in stone for decades and decades. So it's just going to last with us forever. And to be handed the IP, one of the greatest IPs in history, and just be blowing it, just blowing it, and losing so much money. And yeah, eventually we're going to see, just to wrap this up. I mean, yeah, they need to get rid of her. They need to put Jon Favreau in place, let him be in charge, let him figure out where they want to store it, because exactly what you said, Brian, he cares. He cares about the story and the lineage and where it's going. It's personal to him. He cared. That's why he came on board with Mandalorian. When you watch the Midnight's Edge, live stream, and you see Cameron talk, he talks about how Favreau, he had heard from people who know Favreau that Favreau was so upset with what they did with the sequels. That's why he came in to do The Mandalorian, because he just says, we have to put Star Wars back on track. So you put him in charge, you let Dave Filoni run the creative group and create the stories and make sure everything kind of comes together. And the thing is that we have over 100 books. There's 100 Legends books to pull from, and they're just coming up with total crap. So, yeah.
I want to mention something too, just the lineage of filmmaking. Was it Bruce Campbell? No, Bruce Campbell's the actor. Joseph Campbell.
Campbell.
Yep. Hero's Journey. Like Star Wars is a perfect archetype. And it's almost a little bit prodigal sonage, right? Like even prodigal son returns type thing. I mean, yeah, borderline perfection in the first in A New Hope. And yeah, it's disappointing, man, because to be able to infuriate a fan base like that, she could even take a page out. Like, we're both from the East Coast, like, upper Northeast. George Steinbrenner. Oh. George Steinbrenner would do something. He'd infuriate Yankee fans. You know what George Steinbrenner would do very shortly after? He'd usually remedy the situation.
Yeah, 100%. Steinbrenner is a perfect example.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody knew, like, he was old school, rich, loudmouth kind of dude. But even that fucking dude, like, he knew, like, dude, Yankees, New York Yankees, Star Wars.
Star Wars, yeah.
Like, dude, like the only other thing that might be in there would be like a Notre Dame football. I mean, those things, they're almost hard to fuck up. It's like, I remember an acting coach, Tom Todoroff. By the way, if anybody's moving to LA and you really like this guy's, he's not a pussy. Like this he's a little intense, but he's awesome. I remember he said this and he's totally right. He's like, you could take a bad script and put the fucking 10, 20 best actors in the world into that film, it's not going to do well. If you get handed a part with an amazing script by like a franchise like Star Wars as an actor, you probably can't fuck it up. And that's what Star Wars should be. Like it should be so dialed in that nobody, if you want to complain about casting here or there, like that's fine. But still, like the material is so good, even an actor can't screw it up. But what it seems like they moved into, like you said, I never really thought about it, but now you're right, dude. The first of the last trilogy, it was basically just a remake of the first one with a chick. Okay, you can have a female fucking Jedi. I don't think anybody said they don't want that. Mm-hmm. I have a feeling all of us cyber nerds would love some female Jedis, but she didn't. Her parents died. She can't find them. Blah blah. It was extremely similar at the time. I didn't even really think about it that in depth, but they can do better. Now I do have a. I don't know if this is blasphemy, dude. I gotta tell you, it could be my Woody Harrelson love, because I mean I love Woody. Solo, I'm in. I love Solo. Like I really did. I hear that thing got crushed. I'm a little behind, people. Don't get me wrong. I'm a little behind. But yeah, like I don't understand. That one was completely separate, in my opinion. I don't get why people disliked it so much. But we don't have to go into that one. We can save that for another day. But I love Solo. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it once. I was like, yeah, this is pretty good. Like it was cool. It was entertaining. I just think that it just on the heels of The Last Jedi, it was just. Bad taste was still in the mouth.
Oh
God, 6 months later, and it just it was tough. They got a bad rap, but there you go. There's another Kathleen Kennedy project that hired a major director in Hollywood, fired him in the middle of production, and then brought in Ron Howard to fix the thing.
Interesting.
She's supposed to be the producer. And every single one of her projects, she's had problems with production.
So it sounds like she's a little bullheaded and doesn't get along with the creatives.
No.
Because so who got directorial credit for Solo? Was it Ron fucking Howard?
Ron Howard.
You're shitting me.
Yep.
It almost feels like whatever was happening, you bring in Ron Howard, she thought, I'll slap his name on it. We'll be good. Like, it feels more like that was the play there, right? Like, 'cause let's be honest. Let's name a film by Ron Howard, and you're like, oh yeah, that sucked. Like,
yeah, I think something like 80% of the movie had already been shot and done.
So that's that's interesting. I did not know that. Because it sounds like then, I mean, like I enjoyed all of it, so I enjoyed the other 80%. I mean, personally, I thought the way we learned about Han and Chewie, like there's kind of like a little bit of their origin story. I thought it worked. I mean, maybe people wanted a full on Wookiee movie, just that way, but I don't know. But
yeah, it sufficed. It was cool.
Yeah.
But let's change gears real quick, keep it moving. So Falcon the Winter Soldier recap. So we had episode 5. There's only one more episode left. So what'd you think?
Well, I mean, I just expressed my dude love for Woody Harrelson. I cannot tell you, Julia
Louis-Dreyfus.
Dude, I still want to bang her. Like from the first time I've ever seen her, she's still so bangable, dude. Like I'm not going to be like, oh, she's like getting old or whatever. Like, who cares? First of all, I mean, from Seinfeld to Veep, probably the funniest fucking female. Veep, people, if you're looking for something to binge, if you've never watched Veep, phenomenal. I mean, it in my opinion, it blows Curb Your Enthusiasm out of the water. It's like Elaine, who's allowed to curse and happens to be vice president. And to steal a little, what is Amy Schumer? She seems to like to catch a dick if she can. This character in Veep. But she, first of all, all right. So let me just get I love her. Like I love looking at Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Love her smile. Love the sparkle in her eye. Everything about her, I think, is sexy. I think she's funny as fuck. Now to the episode. I think it was borderline phenomenal. Really liked it. Again, Sebastian Stan. Winter Soldier is very high on my list of Marvel characters right now. I was not super familiar with him. I was, way more of like an Iron Man guy growing up. Obviously, Spider-Man. I wasn't against Cap, but I don't know. I wasn't a huge Cap guy, I guess. But yeah, so I really thought it was intense. I think there is a lot. I don't know how many seasons they're planning on doing this, or if they're going to bust them out into movies. Because so Zemo, he's clearly in the cards for a while, right? Like he feels like that character is going to be around. It also seems like him and John Walker might somehow end up in some sort of I don't know where the last episode's going to go, and I don't know if we're going to find that out in this, but I feel like they're somehow going to be united in a sense. And Sam, obviously the big thing with him, right, having the wings torn off, like I'm assuming we're going to see some rebirth. And now again, I'm not
within the box.
Okay,
the new suit with the wings and
his little underling guy too. There, I'm forgetting the character's name on the show, but I never really knew this until this whole new Marvel explosion. Yeah, so
Torres.
There's another Falcon apparently, right? And
I think so. I think he might take over. I think he might take over as Falcon, and then Sam takes over as Captain America.
Yeah. I mean, and the stuff with I shouldn't be forgetting this other character's name. He's the older black character that was the former
Isaiah.
Yeah. First of all, very cool. I like that history. That's something like I'm pretty good with comics, but I'm not. I didn't own every comic, so I wasn't familiar with this guy's storyline. I think it's very cool. So that, and then again, back to Julia JLD, we'll just call her. It seems like her character might be. She's clearly interested in John Walker.
Oh yeah, I think they were saying she might be like a Hydra agent, and she's not maybe on the good side of the aisle. She may be somebody within the government that's going to recruit. So Johnny Walker Blue becomes the U.S. agent, and he kind of just does his own thing as like a merc. I don't know. The intro to the show was awesome. The battle between the three of them was fantastic. It was reminiscent of Captain America and Winter Soldier versus Iron Man, that battle. So I was really into that. It was funny how they started off with that huge action, and then the rest of the show got super, super deep because they went so much into like the race issue throughout the whole kind of the whole episode. I didn't totally agree with what they were kind of pitching. I thought it kind of, again, was just like, I don't know, like, like Isaiah's all pissed with what they did to him, and, saying, that no black man could be Captain America. And I'm kind of like, well, we had a black president, and you also just said that the government killed all of those other Captain Americas. So like, it wasn't necessarily that they were doing it to you. You said that they killed all the other guys that you were in the thing with, basically the program with. So, I mean, they were just dicks to everybody. So I kind of thought that was a little bit weird in the writing. Yeah. The other thing was the speech between Sam and Bucky, where Bucky apologizes for giving him the shield, which I was kind of like, bro, like, this has nothing to do with your skin color, bro. Like, Captain America and Bucky thought you were an honorable man, and you would do the best job possible. That's why they wanted you to become Captain America. Like, that's, the one thing that was kind of funny though, that I thought, was the whole interaction between Bucky and Sam fixing the ship. I was waiting for like an 80s musical, like workout montage, like, like
let's lose the shirts.
Lose the shirts off, and like Rocky and Apollo running down the beach and shit, and knee-high socks, like scrubbing. That was kind of like a throwback to that.
And I feel like you were kind of, just because we're not really trying to get into like super racial issues or whatever. But no. I feel like, you're kind of skirting it there. One thing that's interesting to me is, and I could be totally wrong here, and I'm sure I'd need a certain American type of American that, grew up looking at America through certain eyes to tell me if I'm way off or if I might be onto something here. One thing that I always thought was cool in comics is I never read a comic book where there were African-American characters or whatever, and race never entered my mind, or the treatment or civil rights or things never entered my mind. And I'm saying that because I wonder if you were growing up and that was happening in real life, in the comics, if it's not happening, that can kind of be a teaching period to everybody. Like, hey, look, this can work. People can be different colors, different races, different religions. It doesn't have to be pointed out every single time. And then a secondary point is like, if we're viewing things and they're not bringing that stuff up in a clearly in your face way, like in that world, if it doesn't exist and everyone gets along, it could be a teaching point to kids who are watching it. Because those aren't horrible. Like, there's not a lot of cursing or sex. There's a little bit of violence, but I feel like 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old boys can easily watch that, most likely. I mean, I don't know. It seems like parents let their kids watch anything, but my point again being, if they're not seeing racism in the show, then like younger kids, they might not conform to that. Whereas like back in the day, right, like people would see it. So like, oh, I'm allowed to be racist or whatever. Or a person of color might have to be like, oh, I get treated differently because. So I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. Like, I get it. I get that there should be moments. Like if Sam becomes Captain America, big moment. But there's also a side of me that's kind of like, just tread lightly with that stuff, because I think while everybody thinks you've got to, tell everyone about history, which also flies in the face of last summer when people want to tear history down. By leaving some of that stuff out, you can actually create like kind of minds that don't know it, and I mean that more in a sense is like they see it, they see what people want the world to be.
Yeah.
As opposed to harking back in their like, should be, could be, want to be, right? Yeah.
It's all of these worlds, whether it's fantasy, whether it's sci-fi, whether it's comic books, is presenting a world that could be. And growing up, like you said, like I would watch Star Trek, and I always think like when you're a sci-fi fan, when you're a fantasy fan, when you're a comic book fan, like you just become an accepting person, because you're just like, oh, okay, Storm's black. Like, I don't care. It's just a character, like whatever, like, and you accept all that stuff. But like when they try to push it too far and it's just like, no, you need to notice this. You need to know, like, it's like, no, I don't. I just need to see the person doing what they want to do because I base it on their character. Like Captain America and Bucky did for Sam. That's why they wanted him to become Captain America, because Sam is a decent person. He's a good person. He's always looking out. He fills those moral shoes, basically. So I I don't think that this show, the jury's still out. We have to see what they do in the season finale, which is coming up tomorrow and Friday. But, I think that they basically really tried to dial back the Hollywood kind of message and SJW message. And I think they've been trying in this show, at least to really kind of play all angles with, patriotism. And like we were discussing last week with the flag smashers being representative of Antifa, and just like, Johnny Walker Blue is representative of the patriotic American government and will do anything for you. You know what I mean? And then you have Bucky and Sam in the middle, just kind of dealing with all this bullshit. But so I'm out, but I'm excited to see the season finale coming up. So, but
just to give a quick clarification, like if anybody's watching, it's kind of like, is this BL guy a moron? Like, just my concept would be this: when I was like 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, originally, like I said, from the Northeast, Dad was a huge Celtics fan. So Larry Bird. Dude, my man was Magic Johnson. And from that point, like to this day, if I was going to pick like the 4 most successful people I'm putting on Rushmore, Magic Johnson's on it. and I remember just because like Magic, like I didn't feel like, oh, that's a black guy. No, don't get me wrong. Magic grew up in a time. Magic definitely experienced racism, like all that stuff. But I'm just saying, as a white guy growing up, he was a role model. Like, I wanted to be not just like Magic. I was never going to play basketball like Magic. I wanted to play basketball. I loved it, but I was not very good. But the business side of Magic, and so that's what I'm saying. Like if younger kids can watch something and not have to have this like, wait, what's going on with this racism angle? I just think that can be positive. Don't get me wrong. Again, John and I both understand. Go through the history of America. By no means are we trying to make light of or an exception for, certain cultures being oppressed and having things that were not fucking fair. We'll flat out say that. But anyway, so yes. But looking forward to the finale, and I'm really pleased, dude. I think I mentioned this before too. I think what Marvel is actually doing is it's kind of mind blowing. I think when you go to see the movies, sometimes you don't see certain things that aren't filled in. Like, what does that mean? What characters are you referring to? They're using this fucking Disney Plus platform to do the shows to kind of fill in all of that stuff. So then the people who are really into it get that. And then when you go and see the big screen movie too, like, it's pretty fucking impressive. Because I mean, we won't get into Shin-Chi or I hope I didn't say that wrong, but the Shin-Chi and the 10 Rings or whatever is coming out. Like, the amount
we could save that for another time.
Okay.
Let's get on, because you know what time it is right now, man. The next time in the next segment in the program is our Women Crush Wednesday. So let's go ahead and check this out. Yeah, guys. All right. So it's Women Crush Wednesday for the week, and we are going to start this Women Crush Wednesday. This is a segment that we do each week where myself, guests, anybody on the show with us can basically tell us who their crush of the week is. Could be an actress, could be an adult star, could be, a cam girl, could be an Insta model. It doesn't matter. Just some girl out there that's just killing it and is beautiful in their own right. So, Brian, let's get started with you. Who did you pick this week?
Yeah, I went with Logan Browning. Kind of actually, a lot of this the show that we just did, some of the topics came up I was not anticipating. And yeah, I actually, I picked Logan Browning, so some of the topics I was touching on are kind of interesting and they were not connected, but where I came across this beauty, I mean, goodness gracious, dude, like whatever her parents are drinking and eating, I'd like the recipes.
Mm-hmm.
I like to branch out again. When I say I watch everything, and again, I really didn't plan this, but yeah, last summer or last fall during COVID, Dear White People, a show on Netflix, a pretty good show on Netflix. lot of interesting things, a lot of interesting topics. I really, really liked it. And immediately, yeah, right. Like the eyes with the smile. Who was Rick Fox married to? Vanessa. She used to be Miss America in like the 80s. Vanessa. She was on, oh man. Not Vanessa Williams with this, not Vanessa with the singing career. Vanessa Williams. And if you were wondering what I was just doing, I was just trying to figure out not Vanessa with the singing career, but the X-rated video queen. Know what I mean? Now back to the scene. Who was the guy at Humpty Dance? What was that? Digital Underground. That's a
Digital Underground, yeah.
From Sex Packets. Anyways, I'll get deep into the rap game if anybody wants to talk about that. But yeah, dude, Logan Browning, like just stunner, just a stunner. And then, I don't always go straight. I'm not on Instagram, so I can't find it. But I did do a Logan Browning bikini Google search, and then I just did Logan Browning. And in between all of that, in between all the heat that this chick is bringing to the table physically, phenomenal actress. Good show. Not going great show. Like, don't get me wrong. I like to balance out amazing, excellent, great, good. It's a good show. I think it was based off a film. I think the director has nothing but, the world at his feet from his movie, then turning into a TV show. So bravo to him. But I think she's a talented actress for one. God knows if I'm ever positioned as an actor or director to work with her, I would love to. And not just because I think she is just, I think breathtaking is possibly a word to go. So yes.
Oh yeah, she's stunning in this photo, dude. This great photo of her right here on Google. This is fantastic. Good
and she
choice,
flows
man.
the natural, right? Flows some of the natural hair, as they say, and she does different things. Personality seems really spunky, really fun, probably.
The eyes, eyes,
dude, like that's. I mean, yeah, spectacular. Well, I don't think contacts or anything. I think those are her fucking eyes. But
my choice this week was the lovely Anita Keys. So Anita Keys is actually a former adult star. She started in the industry right when she was like 18 years old and did a bunch of content for about 2 to 3 years. And since then, she has moved into just being a full-time professional model. And she shoots all over Europe, just constantly with photographers. And she probably just hires herself out. She probably just books nonstop for professional modeling shoots. But yeah, as you can see, just, absolutely stunning, super, super natural beauty, fit. And she's just out there doing it, man. Just always been a fan of this girl. Super cute.
She looks like one of those chicks that's so fit, but literally she barely really even has to work out. Yeah. Like, doesn't she have that vibe? Like, it's gotta drive other chicks crazy. But I mean, she's just got like the tone of her body and like which is obviously super sexy, but it looks like I don't feel like she has to hit the gym 5 times a week or putting in 20 miles. Yeah. Oh, is that some back tattoo? Some back ink?
Yeah, it looks like she's got some sort of big tree coming up and down to like roots down on her upper buttocks region. The upper buttocks. Upper buttocks. So but yeah, she's just got one of those bodies. I don't know how tall she is, but she's got one of those bodies that is one of those like Eastern European fashion model bodies.
Completely. And completely. That inner thigh, the muscle tone on the inner thigh, like that's always super sexy.
She also just reminds me of just a beach girl, just a girl that you would see just hanging out on the beach in Europe, maybe even a surfer girl. She might get in the water, do some stuff, but
like she's the type of girl, like, and this is obviously just looking at her, but like if you're just a normal dude, even if you're not like super hot or whatever, if you're normal, you could approach. Like,
yeah,
well,
there's approachability right there.
Right. Yeah. But if you've got the D-bag, cologne, if you double, D-bagged yourself and you're going up trying to be too cool guy, she gives me that vibe that like, she's just easygoing. And if you are too, man, that is, I totally get that European feel that you're saying. Something, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just how wildly comfortable she seems with what she's doing.
There's the back tattoo. Pretty impressive. Really gorgeous.
Wow. Yeah.
Like a pink blossom tree.
Yeah.
Down her whole back. That's pretty cool. Well, that is Women Crush Wednesday for this week, guys. So, as always, what I need you to do is tell us what you guys think. Who was your favorite Women Crush Wednesday this week? Is it Logan Brown, right here that you can see? That Browning. I'm sorry, Logan Browning. Or is it Anita Keys? So, in the comments of the video, guys, go ahead and put it down there. And what we're going to do is take a little commercial break, and we're going to get on to our interview with the lovely Rose Isstar, who is joining us today. So we are going to...
real quick, John, take a look at something private. Take a look at something private while we play the...
Okay. There we go.
Hey, Lee. Thanks for letting me borrow your bicycle last weekend. Hello, Maya! Shaka-lam! Shaka-khan! I love you, Donovan!
You can't run, you can't roll, you can't hide. I'm the Port Authority.
Mama told you that? Snitches get stitches, Mama.
Stop spreading those lies about Mama, Sean, okay?
Okay, Daphne. That was a good day. I love you, Donovan!
I don't know. I've seen that guy. I've known him. I don't know if he's a type to be a duck fucker.
Oh, Daddy's never ready. Oh, God! Here you go, Donovan. Nobody talks about my mama. Fuck you and your mama, child.
You know she good at,
Hell no.
I'm gonna ask you one more time, Hemp. Who the fuck is Chin May?
I don't know.
Get that shit out of here!
I'm gonna have me and my brother fuck the shit out of your mama.
Bam! And we are back, guys. What's going on? And we are joined today by the lovely Rose Isstar.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Hey, nobody's talking to you. Say hi. Come here.
Who's that?
This is Athena. This is my dog, who is the attention whore of the whole house, which is surprising because I didn't think it could be more than me. But
That's a girl?
yes, I know she's beefy looking.
She's big, yeah. Is a full pit or?
She's technically a pocket pit, so she's like this big,
really
off the ground, but she's 80 pounds and just nice and sizable, big enough where when I walk down the street, somebody who doesn't like dogs or wants to fuck with me walks to the other side of the street. So I'll take it.
So, Rose, I saw in the private chat that you had somebody that you wanted to join in on the Women Crush Wednesday. You had somebody you wanted to talk about.
I'm such no other way to describe it. I'm such a woman lover. So my Women Crush Wednesday, she's a very dear friend of mine. She does online content. I think she has a TikTok now. I would consider her also an influencer with the amount of followers that she has on Instagram. Her name is Jane Lucier. And I think she's just knockout, gorgeous, stunning. And she's a super amazing person, super into fitness, very, very business-minded for a woman. I feel like a young woman in the industry. She's super smart with her money, and she just wants other women to grow too, which I think is phenomenal. I feel like that's a big part of being so an influencer is not just influencing yourself, but others in the industry and building each other up.
Yeah. And what did you say her number was?
Well, she's Canadian, so you gotta put like a plus. You gotta do country codes too.
Man, I gotta tell you, I've been to Montreal more like 3-4 times in my life. I've been to Vancouver a couple times. Good Lord. I don't know what's going on in Canada, but it is
Canadian women are gorgeous.
Yes.
Every time a woman's like, "Oh yeah, I'm Canadian," I'm like, it makes sense. It obviously makes sense.
I don't know if anybody knows who Shelby Bell, Belle, is, but when we're all done, just do a quick Google of Shelby Bell.
Google her.
It's stupid, and she was in the industry. I don't think she has been for a few years, but I remember the first time I saw her, I was just like, I mean, good God. But I love it. I love the
I don't
contribution.
know what they're putting up in the water in Canada, but I definitely want some of it.
Yes, I'll take some.
It's the natural spring glacier water up there. They're just breeding great looking people.
But I love the contribution. That's great. We had a third.
We have a third option.
I could go on forever about different Women Crush Wednesdays, probably until I die. I feel like I'm surrounded by such pretty, beautiful, amazing women in my industry that I'm like, it's really hard to pick one. But I did.
So speaking of industry, let's tell everybody out there who doesn't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do, Rose?
So I'm an exotic dancer. I'm a content creator. So I do have my own OnlyFans, many bits, things like that. I've also shot professional adult films a few times. So I'd really consider myself kind of a jack of all trades in the industry. I love doing it all. And so you can look me up anywhere. You can see me on Pornhub. You can see me on Instagram, Twitter, OnlyFans. I've got one of every profile.
Tell me a little bit more. So I'm you won't know this about me. I'll be brief because John knows this. So I have zero, other than this show, I pretty much have zero online presence. But tell me, so OnlyFans, like, because I saw I think it was last week, and I don't know who she is until I saw this article or this thing I watched on YouTube. Somebody named Bad Baby apparently made $1 million in like 2 days.
Yes.
Just walk me through OnlyFans. Like, what exactly? How does it differ? What would you say it's similar to like an Instagram, but it's more adult?
So it's kind of
like
it's a subscription based model. I would say it's less like Instagram and more like Patreon.
Okay, I get that.
So you get a subscription. You buy a subscription at say $9.99 a month. You get to see a wall similar to Instagram, where it's just like a wall of different pictures, posts, videos that girls will send out, and then you also get the privilege of being able to message the girls or people that you've subscribed to. So you can message them, they can message you. The models can also send out like videos that you can pay for and see. You can request certain things, custom made videos, just different stuff. Usually, at least most adult content creators will have like a list of some sort of the videos that they offer. And you can message them stating that you want XYZ videos, or you want a custom pictures or custom video or whatever you'd like, or a fan sign. There are lots of different stuff that not only I offer, but that other content creators on OnlyFans offer. So I'd say it's like a mix of like Patreon and Instagram, and it's not always for adult themed stuff, but most of the time I feel like almost anybody that I run into that runs an OnlyFans is for adult themed ideas. Let's just say it like that.
John and I, on our last episode, we kind of talked about it a little bit. Yeah, it just sounds like it really lets you be completely in control. Because I was, like let's be clear. So, have I watched X videos, Pornhubs multiple times this week? Yeah, I have. And you know what? It's fucking free. And it kind of blows my mind, right? Because I'm like,
the idea that people pay for what you can get for free.
Yeah, and you guys should probably be getting paid a lot more, because the amount of times I can view it or whatever, like you probably got paid for the one-time fee like 10 years ago. Now on OnlyFans, I guess you guys can really be like, hey, yeah, I've got a menu or whatever you want to call it. You can be completely in control of how you're going to.
More than being in control. It's this idea that like you can interact with not just the girl next door who runs her adult site. You can interact with your favorite porn star, your favorite Instagram model that's created in OnlyFans. And I think there's something especially a lot with the pandemic that's happened within the past year. There's something that has to do with this idea of being in contact with that person. Like, that's great that you get to see, I'll throw out a Bella Danger. I love her to death. You get to see a Bella Danger, taking dick, eating pussy, whatever the case may be. But there's this like
at the same time.
Yeah, at the same time, it's fucking great. But there's this idea that you get to be able to interact with that star, interact with the girl that's in it. I think there's an in-person, I guess, like a draw to it. There's a bigger sexual draw because you're getting to talk to that person, not just watch that person.
Yeah, no, I can see how that would be. Because, right, that's kind of the point. Like, I don't know if there's a Comic-Con for porn. I think there is in LA. I think it's adult.
There
con.
is. So they have you have AVN, you have Adult Con, you have XBiz, and then you have Exoticas. So there are about 4 different types, not including the Canadian and European conventions. So they have like different conventions for AVN's like the big one for the porn industry. Exotica is kind of just like a touring sex convention, and then you have XBiz, which is an adult award show that they also have a convention for. It's a lot. I definitely feel like, again, there's that idea of like, I have a lot of fans who fly out from across the country to come meet me at these conventions, because how many times are you gonna get to meet your favorite exotic star in person?
Yeah.
So those 4 different. So is that like 4 different events per year, or are those 4 different companies running their
So
own?
those are 4
circuit?
different companies.
Wow. So there's 4 different circuits.
Yeah,
then.
so you'll have Exotica. So our Exotica this year will start in June or July, and it starts in Chicago. Exotica usually has Chicago, not exactly in this order, Chicago, New Jersey, Miami, and then they'll throw in like a random city. So this year it's going to be Washington, D.C. 2 years ago it was Portland, and the year before it was Denver. And then they'll do AVN's always in Vegas every year. Adult Con, I believe, is in LA, and XBiz, they have a convention in LA in the beginning of the year, and then they have a adult industry only convention in Miami. It'll be probably around next month, but I don't think they're doing an in-person one. I think they're just doing an online award show this year.
And you were like Miss Award for one of the conventions, right?
So I actually won a dancing award. I was Miss Exotica Chicago 2019, and I was runner-up Miss Exotica Miami 2019 as well.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the draw, right? Because if you're not in one of those big cities, what are the chances? Your schedule is going to be able to, if you're a fan, to get out there. And it's only when you're at those conventions, you might get 5 minutes, but if you get the interaction on OnlyFans,
you can go all night long.
That's amazing.
And I kind of see it. It's kind of like a strip club. You know what I mean? You pay $10 to get in, get to see boobies, naked, whatever, and then you're paying the extra price to get a lap dance or get a video. You get to interact with her, throw money on stage, tipping her. It's kind of like the same idea, less having to go out of your house and do things.
Right. Less physical, but potentially more like
rewarding in a way.
Yeah, and almost intimate, just because if it's just you one-on-one.
Yeah, and that's cool. The thing is you get to do, like I said, a lot of people will do custom videos. How many times do you get your favorite adult film star to make a custom video specifically for you, saying your name, doing the things that you want her to do?
Rosa Star has not made me a personal video yet.
Not yet. Everything's
not
yet, right?
Yet, right? Yeah.
Emma Hicks, not yet. We'll get there.
We'll get there someday. So besides doing how long have you been on OnlyFans? Real quick though, have you?
So I've been on OnlyFans for about 1.5 years. I would say I was late to the bandwagon in adult terms, but early to the bandwagon in trend terms. Does that make sense? So I was well before. I want to say about 2 years, because it was 20.
Yeah, you were pre-pandemic
when I made it.
So you were before the gold rush. We got to come up with a name for that. The digital rush, the gold rush, whatever it is, because when the pandemic started, it was just like, and they just
pandemic. There you go.
The porn pandemic. That's a great way to, let's call it that. So you've been on it for 2 years now, but you're doing videos, you're on OnlyFans, but then you're also touring around the country to clubs, aren't you? Doing shows?
So I do. I like to travel a lot, just because I feel like at some point, if you don't push yourself, you're going to reach your ceiling. So I've been traveling on and off with dancing since I started almost 3 years ago. Right now, I'm kind of in a little tour of things. So we just came back from Austin a few days ago. We were in Austin for a week dancing. Before that, it was St. Louis, Missouri, Amarillo, Texas. We're planning Phoenix for May. So just a little nice circuit around Oklahoma where I'm based at, of places, different clubs that I can go to, just because I feel like it's a lot of fun. I feel like traveling and dancing, you get to meet different people, you get to learn different styles of dancing, and you just get to get crazy. There are some clubs where it's all throwing money and thousands of bricks of ones and all sorts of stuff, and then you have clubs where it's quiet and they play EDM and rock, and you're gonna get a VIP twice that night.
So how does it work with meeting fans, basically?
So I always post where I'm going to be at that weekend. And I always encourage my fans to come out. I actually had a fan a week ago come out from Chicago all the way down to St. Louis to come meet me and get some dances with me. So I always encourage fans, come out, meet me, say hi, throw some money. Again, it's that idea of like, how many times do you get to see your favorite online entertainer in person? Very few times. And it's the idea of not just, oh, come take a picture with me, have me sign an autograph. You can get a VIP room with your favorite adult entertainer in person. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people don't get to do.
Yeah, you get to meet your hero.
Yeah.
In person. That was one of the things that I was really impressed with by you, was that when we first met, I mean, you like had a business card. You were like, this is what I do. I'm on these platforms. I do this. And it just, for me, with a marketing background, it seemed like you really got it. It's like, no, I create this content. And then if you want a more personal experience, you can come here, or you can find me somewhere around the country and come and meet me in person. So it's like you're trying to approach the revenue stream angle from many, many, many different angles.
Oh yeah, I'm a big believer in diversifying your income will make you a millionaire if you do it right. So for me, like when I'm at the club, I'm making money while I'm dancing, and I'm also doing online work. If the club is slow, guess what? I'm on OnlyFans doing my thing. I'm messaging people back. I'm posting new content all the time, and while I'm at the club, if I am making money, I'm still making money online by collecting revenue from videos, selling stuff. And then people who meet me in person, oh, you loved what I did on stage or in a VIP, well, you can get even more explicit stuff online. Here's my business card. And people who see me online, oh, well, you love what I do. Well, I'm actually coming to a city near you. You can come and get a lap dance.
Nice.
That's pretty amazing. Now, how much? That's not something you didn't go to school for learning all this. This is all, if you just been learning.
So I did go to business school. I will say I will chalk it up to a little bit of like business school, but I feel like a lot of it was learning on the fly. Like I feel like business school never prepared me for what was going to happen. Like I went when I was stripping and I was like, oh, this will definitely help me in online work. And the woman who was teaching me social media marketing didn't know how to work Facebook. And I was like, I don't need this anymore.
Yeah, the colleges are a little bit behind on the time. You go in for photography and you're working in a dark room.
Yeah, she was sitting there trying to tell me how to place a Facebook ad. And I'm like, I want to know how to get around the blocks and Instagram so I can post an Instagram ad. She's like, I don't know how to do that. I was like, okay, well, looks like we're both shit out of luck here, Mary, okay?
So you have to deal with, so we almost didn't do the stream today because we had a little issue with YouTube saying that we violated their terms of service before we even did the stream. But I hear online from a lot of you girls that you have to deal with the same kind of censorship on these platforms. I think that there's this kind of like war on beautiful women online. I'm always very shocked that in 2021, when we're supposed to be so accepting and we're supposed to be empowering women and letting women do their thing, that there seems to be this just constant like, hey, we're going to crush you kind of thing. We don't want you to make it. Do you have that happen? Do you have a lot of content pulled and censored?
I have a lot of content pulled. This is actually my second Instagram page, my third Snapchat. It's really a struggle. I struggle to find like the really fine line in between like what I can post and what's going to get deleted. And I feel like there's definitely a war on beautiful women. I feel like once women learned that they can monetize being beautiful, people were like, oh, no. We want to see your ankles, well, we don't want you to make money off of it. No, what? And so I feel like there's, especially now that OnlyFans has gotten so big, I feel like people are really trying to crack down because they're starting to realize that you can't keep women in chains for the rest of your life. It's not going to happen like that.
Do you think that it's almost like because you girls are now independent, you're your own bosses, you're running your own companies, basically, from what you've just described, what you need to do with merchandising, marketing, travel, all this stuff, hiring your own production teams. The fact that that there's nobody controlling you women now, do you think that has anything to do with it, that you're not tied to some corporation or agency or something like that?
Oh, yeah, I think it has a big thing to do with it. I think, there's always been a war on pornography, but if you notice within the past 2 years, this is when it's really started to ramp up. FOSTA and SESTA happened, I want to say like 2 years ago, and it was really big. It was that really big war on Craigslist and Backpage and all that. And I think that kind of just snowball affected everything. Now you see there was that whole war on Pornhub. Visa and MasterCard will not allow their cards to be used on Pornhub anymore.
Wow, I didn't know that. Whoa, okay.
You cannot use them to buy premium. You cannot use them to buy your Pornhub premium. You cannot use them to buy premium videos. And they pulled out because of a charity, Exodus Cry, that is a very religious-based charity based on essentially calling all porn sex trafficking, which I think what's happening now is people are realizing that porn isn't sex trafficking because we do, we are our own bosses. We do manage our own companies. And now people are realizing that they can't use that excuse anymore. So they want to do whatever it takes to shut us down completely.
It is funny too, isn't it? You turn on the TV or whatever. How many Budweiser ads do we see, right?
With girls with their boobs like this.
Right. And so kids watching like, oh, getting wasted, it's fine. I mean, sexual experiences are a pretty natural state of human beings. We'd all agree, right?
Yeah.
But they want to kind of censor that. And the other thing that I want to throw in with this, so I'm just asking, you don't have to answer if you don't want to. So again, being an online, like I have 2 apps. I've used them 5 times in my life.
It's amazing that you're on this because everything you do.
I had a good
not a technology person. I'm so proud of you for working this through.
Well, so I'm a writer producer that does some acting in Hollywood, right? But I own a film camera. Like I own plenty of digital shit, but like I own film cameras that you can load. And let me tell you something, film still looks better. It doesn't matter. People are trying to always make digital look like film. But yes, I am like an 80-year-old stuck in this body. But on OnlyFans, and again, you honestly don't answer this if you don't want to. When you get a tip, a monetary benefit, is that taxed?
So they take out a percentage. Every platform that you work with is going to take out some sort of percentage. OnlyFans is the smallest percentage that I know of right now. They take about 30%.
So
it's 30 now.
But what I'm curious though is that an Uncle Sam tax? Because what I'm thinking is,
so we have to file our own taxes once we do. So a lot of girls I know actually file quarterly. I've just started filing quarterly within the past year or so. But so you have to file your own taxes on top of that. I have to put away money for my taxes out of every check, every night of dancing that I do. I have to put away for taxes.
And that's what I think. Whenever you really want to get to the root of the war on something, Uncle Sam wants his dirty little hands in that money. Marijuana. The only reason why it's not legal yet is because Uncle Sam hasn't figured out how to fucking tax it. I swear to God. Right? You can own a medicinal shop. You can sell $1 million of product a month. You can't put that fucking money in a bank because it's not UFC insured and the government won't let you. Like, it's not taxable. And that's what I'm wondering. Like, the censor, right? Like, we're not supposed to censor in America, but I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. Like, I'm wondering if that's part of their stick up the butt, if why they are harassing.
Well, I feel like a lot of people have tried to make that argument to me, like, oh, well, you don't pay taxes. I'm a
Oh, no,
business
no.
owner.
No,
I'm not saying
taxes.
that you think I don't pay
Oh, yeah.
taxes, but a lot of people do assume that just because we're an adult work that we can't pay taxes for whatever reason.
Sure.
As a business owner, I pay more taxes than most people do. I'm very grateful that I get to write off certain things, you know, because this is my work. I get to write off makeup, outfits, my dance shoes, travel, parts of my house. I'm very grateful to be able to do that. But taxes fuck me out the ass.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying too. Like, it's kind of like they're not quite sure. So they're like, let's slow it all down with some censorship because they want to see what you guys are actually really making. And potentially, like, oh, if you do this kind of work, we'll put you in a higher tax bracket. But yeah, by no means was I accusing any of you ladies or guys in the industry of, hey, you know what? I've skirted around taxes, so I'm not pointing the finger at anybody. I got some moves. I got a guy up here. He's amazing, by the way.
You're like, if you need his number, let me know.
Yeah, like seriously, he showed me some things that they're legitimate. Like it's not even illegal. It's fully in line with how to file taxes.
Yeah, you get the right guy that pays you.
Very good insight.
Hey, well, they'll do great stuff for you.
Hey, I know this guy. He'll take care of your taxes. He'll get it all figured out. I got a question for you, Rose. So, in the industry, do you find that since so many of you girls are becoming independent businesswomen, that there's a lot of support amongst each other? Like, are you girls out there? Like, is there a really strong camaraderie between all of the performers and because you create content, you're not going through some agency, you're meeting another content creator, you guys are doing your own contracts, creating this. Is there a lot of like inter-education between everybody creating all this content?
I definitely feel like there's a lot of inter-education. I feel like there's a lot of, like you said, the camaraderie, this idea of like supporting each other, like go girl type of thing, or go other performer. Just because, like you said, there is this idea, like, I don't have to deal with an agent. My agent isn't going to call my people aren't going to call your people. I'm going to call you. And I feel like there's this idea of like, you have to be able to educate each other because there is so much that goes on beyond the scenes. There's contracts that have to be done. There's legal papers that have to be signed. There's IDs. There's so much happening behind the scenes. And if we don't educate each other, then somebody else could get fucked in the end. Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of people have come to me with advice, especially because I was one of few content creators in Oklahoma when the porn pandemic started. So I feel like a lot of girls came to me and I try to be very honest. It's not as easy as it looks. There is a lot that has to do behind the scenes. There's a lot that you could get wrapped up in tax wise, legality wise. You have to be very careful when you shoot with other people that you have all the contracts signed, that everything's videotaped, legally documented, because something could happen. And people, no matter what, people are going to be messy. Things are going to happen. Fallouts are going to happen. But I feel like there is a lot of like, we have to educate ourselves because nobody else is going to tell us what we need. They have at some of these conventions, they do have people who speak about these are the kind of contracts you're needing. These are the laws that are coming up. But like right now with what's happening in California with the independent contractor employee thing, a lot of people aren't knowing about that. So they're moving to California to become performers and aren't understanding the legality of what's happening to their income, to their business. There's a lot that's happening that we don't understand because it's all having to do with government and taxes and laws that we don't write and we don't have anything to do with. So I feel like there is a lot of like, hey, I don't know if you heard, but X, Y, and Z is happening. We even, there's a lot of group chats. So we even let each other know if like OnlyFans is acting weird, if, you can't message people, something's going on with posting. OnlyFans, that changes their terms and services a whole lot. So there's a lot of back and forth about, hey, this just changed in the TOS terms. I don't know if you know, but all my videos that had XYZ got taken down, just so you're aware. So if you try to do the same thing, you don't get fucked off too.
Yeah. So, okay. It's so rapid. Everything seems like it's just changing so fast. I met with somebody who met the owner of OnlyFans, and I can't even imagine what that owner went through with the porn pandemic and the rush to his site. It must have just been immediate, like overnight, I need to hire 1,000 employees to run.
Oh yeah, I'm sure, because I know that they went from, because there's a percentage that happens on OnlyFans. You can see what top percentage you are in the content creators.
Mm-hmm.
So it went from like the amount the percentage changed within a month was insane. Not because you're making a different amount of money, but because there's so many people, the percentage is now so much smaller.
That's interesting. Well, we're going to do something real quick right now. We're going to play Guess the Backstory. So it's a little game that we started that we're playing. It's called Guess the Backstory, where I am going to show a clip. Not that type of clip. I know all you pervs out there are thinking it's not that type of clip.
So excited. They've got semis already. They don't even know what's happening.
Yeah, we're a family show that talks about adult content, family show. But we're going to show it.
See below. I thought you couldn't see below this.
Yeah, that's why we're all like this high. Yeah. So we're going to show a clip, and then myself and Brian are going to try to. We all know where the story goes. We all know how it finishes, okay? Whether we want to see the finish or not. But we are going to try to guess the backstory on how it was written. So let's see here. We're going to start with the first scene right here. And we have Miss Rose Isstar. She's in the kitchen. She's doing some dishes. So my guess is, okay, you're there. It's super hot outside. So you need to do the dishes in your lingerie. It's just natural. And there's
everybody does.
As everybody does, lingerie boxers. And there's a girl down the street, and her little sister is a Girl Scout. And she comes by. She's trying to. It's already dark outside. It's late at night, and she's just like, you know what? I'm such a nice person. I'm gonna go sell Girl Scout cookies for my little sister. And she happens to come by Mrs. Isstar's house. She's of legal age. And she comes there, and Rose, you're doing the dishes. You hear the doorbell.
That she was of legal age.
What's that?
I appreciate that you clarified that she was of legal age.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So then, you answer the door, and you're like, oh, I love Girl Scout cookies. I love them. I love the Thin Mints. I love them. But I don't have any money on me because I'm only in lingerie. So why don't you come inside and wait for me real quick? And then suddenly she comes inside, and she's like, oh, Mrs. Isstar, I love that lingerie you're wearing. And then suddenly it just kind of goes from there. Brian?
I like it. I'm going to go. It's the 4th of July, and a bunch of the family is outside, and you had to go inside because you just decided you had to tidy up the kitchen a little bit because it was making you feel dirty. And in a few minutes, your stepbrother's going to come inside because he's feeling a little dirty too. And you say, well, I need to fill up the dishwasher so, things can get clean. And he talks about how he can help filling something up as well. But the main point here is you were both feeling a little dirty and something had to get cleaned. And because this stepbrother stuff, stepsister seems really big.
Stepbrother stuff is really big right now. I appreciate that you went with the trend.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That's what I got.
He's up on the trends. I can say that, So what's the story, Rose?
So actually I was doing the dishes and I found out my roommate wasn't home. So I decided to give myself a little bit of a wash down.
So this is solo.
So it's a solo video. John, I do like your idea because I actually do have a full box of Girl Scout cookies. And when I say a box, I have a box of boxes of Girl Scout cookies. I think I have like 15 in my cabinet right now. So you're not wrong. I would do a lot for a Girl Scout cookie.
John, no, yours was great. Great detail, way more than I went into. I kind of feel like I let everyone down on that. I'll do better than that.
You went with the trend, Brian. I like it. You know what I mean? You can never go wrong with following the trends.
I put a lot of thought into
I was a little distracted by the skin too. Like it's hard,
So this is our next scene, right?
I already know.
Okay.
You want me to go first?
I think, yeah, you go first on this one.
All right, so it's clearly driver's ed. You're 18 and in high school, but you're a little behind getting your driver's license. And my man over here is the driver's ed guy, and you're not going to pass. And you're like not even close. You just turned left on a red light, like did a U-turn, and he's telling you, why don't you go ahead and pull the car over, because there's really only one way that you're going to pass and get your driver's license. And you're about to say, oh, I can't wait for you to tell me what that could be. And he's like, yep, me neither. Pull it over, young lady. That's where I'm going.
I got you. No. Wait, okay. So I thought about this one pretty hard right here. So, okay.
Hold on. Have you written a script for what has happened in this?
I hope so.
So here we go. He is a door-to-door vacuum sales guy. And you are the MILF in the neighborhood. But you just been, your husband locked out on you with a girl, and you're just there, and you see this guy, and he's working hard, and he's out there, and he's carrying his vacuum cleaner, and he's sweating, and he's just like wiping his brow, and you're like, I got to go talk to that guy about vacuums because I have a suction problem with my vacuum at my house, and maybe he would know what's going on. So he gets in the car. You guys are talking about appliances and shafts and vacuum and suction and strength. And, just that talk, one thing leads to another. And you're just like, well, why don't you come back to my house and you can kind of check out my tubing and the vacuum and see if everything's right on it. And that's where we went with that.
And we all know what happens next.
You guys are giving me so many ideas for future films.
And we all know what happens next. He sells her a vacuum.
He sells her a vacuum cleaner.
That Dyson just didn't.
I have a small favor, Rose. So in one of your pictures, so I'm a big muscle tone guy, and then you just kind of did it. I don't know if you did it on purpose, but can you get the guns out again real quick? Like, am I seeing that right? Those things look fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I love it.
Yeah.
They're a little sore, but
those are good. Nice. Nice tone. You got the little ball going. Very nice.
I like flexing where it makes men feel a little like, oh, I need to work out a little bit. I'm like, yeah.
How did you know I just felt like that? You just nailed it.
Hurts people's feelings sometimes.
I'm sitting here like, oh God, like, oh my God, what's?
Hey John, can I fire off a couple quick pop culture questions for her?
Sure. Well, we got to find out what the scene is. We got to find out what the story is behind the scene.
So I actually, I went to go get a new car, but he was asking way too much. So I figured I could, get the car another way. Is there some other way I can pay for it?
So you're trying to negotiate down the price.
That's a test drive. It's a test drive. Damn it!
It's a test drive, and it worked because I have the car now.
Well, you were close, Brian. You were close on that one. So I got the Girl Scout cookies for the first one. You've got the test drive on this one. Okay, so we're 1-1. So here we go with the last scene here.
Oh, we got another. Oh, okay.
We got one more. We got 3.
Oh boy.
So it's a little kind of blown out in the background, but there we go. So I guess it's my turn on this one. So super on the spot. I'm gonna say, I don't even know where to go with this.
I'm like, nothing is gonna sound right.
Be careful, John. I think you want me to go? I've got mine lined up.
You got yours lined up? Okay. Yeah. I need some time.
Okay. So first question, I'm just curious, is that Richard Mann? Because if it is, do you know what Richard Mann is?
No. Idea.
Okay. Well, here's what I'm going with.
I'm like, to make me sound stupid on a podcast, I have no clue who that is.
I don't know who Richard Mann is either.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Okay. Well, I would say, no, we'll get to him later. So here's what I'm going with. All right. So again, so it's after school. It's senior year. You're 18, but you're having trouble with geometry. And Mr. Nelson is your tutor, and he came over, and he's like, "Look, you're going to fail geometry. You're not very good with shapes and sizes. And you're like, no, but I am. I can show you. And he's like, oh, really? and then that's where we're going. So I got tutor, student, after school tutor.
Oh, geez. I don't even, I'm stuck on this one, man. You kind of stole. I was thinking a school teacher like that in the school. I was thinking that in a sense. I was like, but I don't know. She kind of looks concerned. It looks like she's in trouble. So I may have to go with the George Costanza. Was I not supposed to do that episode? Was that frowned upon in the office? So you're working, you're doing office supplies sales. Okay. You're working at an office supply sales company, and he's the boss. And he just found out that there was a threesome in the office with the cleaning woman and another employee there who's the nerd guy. And you guys were like after hours, you were working late, and the nerd guy had some whiskey with them, and he's like, yeah, let's have a drink after work. And then the cleaning lady showed up, and everybody starts drinking a little bit, and she's trying to clean and just
Hands went
a little wild.
places.
And he's hearing about this, and he's upset with you that he wasn't invited because he pays the bills of the office.
How did I know you were going to go where he wasn't invited?
Yeah. When and he's sitting there saying, I'll tell you what, like, if you're going to have a threesome in my office, you damn well better invite me, because I pay the bills for this office. And then you're sitting there and you're just like, oh, I didn't think you would be into it. And then so it's like, well, let's see how we're into it right now.
Solid, John. Solid.
You like that?
Yeah.
You were close. You're close. I was going in for a job interview on a Saturday, and he told me I was dressed unprofessionally, but I just really, really needed the job.
Mm-hmm. And since you're already dressed inappropriately, we might as well do other inappropriate things. But I think, John, I think you're probably closer there. Nice win.
The office.
I like this game. I like this game.
Well, guys, that was Guess the Backstory for adult videos, so we can do that. And
no, I like this game a lot. I'm excited to see what other things you guys come up with next couple episodes.
Well, we have deep mind banks of shit that we can pull from, I'm sure.
Twisted shit.
Yeah.
Twisted. So that's it, guys. Tell us what you think about that in the comments below. Now, Brian, you had some culture questions.
Just quick random pop culture.
Yeah.
Better performer, Prince or Michael Jackson?
Ooh. Gonna have to go with Prince.
Yes, that's correct.
I didn't know this was an incorrect question.
Oh, yeah. No, it's definitely.
I'm nervous now.
Yeah, it is Prince by a mile. He plays instruments. I'm not going to take away the King of Pop's credibility as a global icon.
I'm just going to say it like this. Prince was touring until he died.
Love it. Love it.
That's all I'm going to say about that one.
Best Prince song.
You're going to hate me. It's super cheesy. Purple Rain is my shit. Everybody can make fun of me.
Love it. Correct answer, Raspberry Beret.
Ooh.
Raspberry Beret. Don't get me wrong. Purple Rain, like, yes. Turn it up.
I've danced to Purple Rain on stage. You want to know what surprisingly gets people way more hype at a strip club? Purple Rain.
I bet. It's a good choice. Of all the Marvel actors, not their characters in the movies. Do you watch the Marvel shit?
Yes. Okay. I am a Marvel non-DC fan.
Which actor is the sexiest person, male or female?
Oh,
male or female?
John, you can chime in too.
Male or female?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, this is just a rude question to ask. It's mean to make me pick like that. You know what? Chris Hemsworth is a very sexy man, but there is just Scarlett Johansson just drips sexuality in a way that's like super casual. Like, I don't feel like she tries to be sexual, but the way that she is just drips it. And I think that's what makes her so sexy. Is she's not trying to be sexy. She just naturally is.
That ass of hers helps.
You know what, the ass, and I'm an eyes face girl.
Gotcha.
So like her face shape and her eyes, something about the way people eye fuck me, it just ooh.
This is 100% honest. Oh, John, do you want to, John?
Well, I was gonna say, what superhero, what in character superhero is the next
we'll do that.
scene?
We'll do that next then.
Okay.
So correct answer, you actually had them both. Correct answer is Chris Hemsworth. Second is Scarlett. Dead serious. Like
they're so sexy. I want to see them.
Stupid. Like the biological lottery that he won. I mean, good Lord. And he does seem like a fucking cool dude. So
him and his brother. Have you seen his brother? Because they're both
Which one? The older brother's super hot. Then there's the younger one, Liam, that was dated.
Liam's the one who dated Miley. I would definitely say Liam's super hot. I don't know what kind of genetic lottery that whole family won, but it's just unfair.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
He's got an older brother that looks closer to Chris, who's going to be in the next Thor.
That's just rude. You know what's rude? Giving that whole family the genetic lottery that they won.
And the Aussie
parents must be so fucking proud.
And the Aussie accent. Like, what are you going to do with that? And I love how in the female Ghostbusters, because they just called that Ghostbusters, right? The one with McCarthy. Like, he was the eye candy. I just thought that was fucking hysterical, the way that they did it.
It just makes sense.
Yeah. So those were basically it. But then, John, let's do it then. So in costume, not the actor, hottest Marvel character.
Captain America.
Wow.
Captain America?
Captain America. Okay, but in my defense, I have a thing. I have everybody has a type. I have a thing for blonde-haired, blue-eyed, over 6 foot military men with tattoos. So
not specific.
I'm saying Captain America is like my dream man.
All right, you're gonna have to fight Lizzo apparently.
So my question.
I don't want to do that. There's some people I would fight, not her.
Lizzo got. I'm only just real quick. Lizzo apparently there's something on Yahoo. She slipped into his DMs. She loves Chris Evans, and he was like super cool about it. Obviously, she had kind of had a few drinks. Yeah. Anyways, that's what I was just kidding about.
I love it.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Well, so my question was, okay, we have a $5 million budget to film a scene, and I was going to ask what character in costume is your, like, who are you going to sleep with, and what character would you be?
Whoa.
So we just found out
it's Marvel or any pop culture ever.
Oh no, we'll stick with Marvel. Stick with Marvel because you just said Captain America. So if it's Captain America, who are you? Like, what's the scene right there? Are you a villainess? Are you on his same side? I
feel like maybe Scarlet Witch would be an interesting movie to make, like Captain America and Scarlet Witch, because you can't do Black Widow. It's weird.
Yeah.
She fucked the Hulk. It's weird. Captain America wouldn't go for it. He would be like, but he's my friend, and it wouldn't be able to happen. It'd be like two rocks just awkwardly bumping against each other. I feel like I could do Scarlet Witch. Captain America would go for it. It'd be like some after hours in the headquarters, like after a few drinks. Scarlet Witch would finally be like, I just need to know.
Yeah.
Is everything as good as it looks? Like, I feel like Soldier. There'd be no hot transition into it, but it would somehow work.
Scarlet Witch is like, I'm tired of the human vibrator vision. Like, I'm just over the machine. I need the real thing. I need the grade A American beef, right?
I need what the government told me I needed, which was Captain America.
So I'm gonna go. I would be the Wasp as an Ant-Man and the Wasp. So I'd be the Wasp, but like when I shrunk down, and it'd be with the Hulk.
I really appreciate that you did not go, I'm gonna be a male character. You were like, I would be the Wasp and I would fuck the Hulk. And I love it.
Yeah.
Shrunken down Wasp.
Shrunken down Wasp,
right.
Which means it would be a particle to the Hulk. I feel like you wouldn't even have sex at that point. You would just go into the Hulk's urethra and go from there.
Dude, triple word score for urethra. I try and work that in on a daily basis. Nicely done.
I feel like you would just fly in and like tickle his ball sack.
Buzz around. Yeah. Like go
from
in
the
there.
inside.
Yeah. Just find the little. button that just starts shooting everything out. That'd be amazing.
So you said that you are Marvel and not DC so much. So I take it you follow the whole Marvel universe. Like what's
yes, do not shame me. I have not watched WandaVision or any of the TV shows. I feel like I'm looking forward to Loki. I'm very much looking forward to Loki, the TV show, heavily. If you would ask me, I would say besides Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston's probably like my number 3 by far.
Oh,
the comedy.
Something about the dark hair, the mischievous eyes, like
he's kind of like a British dick in real life too, right?
Yeah, just and it makes sense because I like Harry Potter. I like what's his name, the fucking snot-nosed kid, Draco Malfoy. It kind of makes sense. The greasy hair look. That's a thing. Yeah. The greasy hair bad boy thing. I like it a lot.
So you're a huge. What's the other show that you really love? You love, what was it, Supernatural? Or
I'm a big Supernatural person. Supernatural, Disney, Harry Potter, Marvel.
With Supernatural, that's I always say Jared Padalecki.
Padalecki, I think, yeah.
I semi know him. Got to meet that guy a handful of times just through like a friend of a friend.
I'm keeping really calm right now because we're on a podcast, but on the inside I'm squealing. Okay, sorry, I just needed to get that out for a second. Well, I was watching it with John when John came through on his road trip. Yep. I was on like season 6 or something. And he just like looked over at one point, and I had to explain to him because Supernatural is just such a weird show that you can't just sit there and watch it for extended period of time and have somebody just watch 85 people get murdered in your home casually.
I'm trying to edit Rose's photos in her house, and then she's like, I'm just going to watch binge while I'm in the middle of season 6. I'm like, how many is there? She's like 10. I'm binging. And I'm like, I'm just hearing all this murder and stuff. And I'm like looking over. I'm
screaming.
Like,
I think Padalecki is rebooting Walker, Texas Ranger. Rose, you're probably too young, I would think, but Walker, Texas Ranger.
Okay, but I do remember watching Walker,
huge
Texas
show.
Ranger vaguely.
Yeah,
I think they play it on like, what is it, TMC or whatever, the country channel.
Yeah, because it was like Chuck Norris. It was definitely a real white bread, corn-fed show. Like, let's just call spade a spade. But yeah, I think Padalecki is bringing that back. They're pretty excited about it, from what I could tell. Like, I think it's going to be on USA. I think it's going to be a big deal.
That's going to be that's super exciting. I feel like you can make fun of me all day long. I feel like Hollywood is just remaking things now. At this point, they don't even have any creative stuff. They're just remaking old stuff or turning written stuff into film.
I got a bunch of new stuff and they don't want anything to do with me, but I'll get there. I'll get there.
They don't like creatives.
I know, like my shit, like honestly,
tell you this.
When I get people and like one time, this was like that true story, like William Morris, like the huge agency, nobody there, no contacts. I send a blind email and my idea is good. And the response I got back, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna send you the release paper so you can send in your script, because what I said in my email was, I can guarantee you this, you've never fucking heard this pitch before. And he basically wrote back, I've never heard that fucking pitch before. And it's not a bad idea. Now, it didn't necessarily go anywhere, but yeah, it is. They get cold feet, man. Like they don't want to be the one that tries something new and it blows up in their face, as opposed like try something new and it fucking skyrockets. Like fucking give it a shot, man. Don't be a pussy, right?
They wanna bank on something that they already know is successful, aka Walker, Texas Ranger. It was a successful TV show before. If they remake it, it can't be any more awful, less awful than what it was.
Right. And there's more people
more successful or equally what it was.
Yeah.
So they'll take it.
And there's more people on the planet. So by a numbers game alone,
they've got better chances of getting better numbers.
Right. From what you just said, yeah, absolutely.
So what's next in Rose's life? What's going on? What do you got going on next?
So I will be dancing in Amarillo, Texas this coming up weekend, Friday, Saturday. And then I'll be going out to St. Louis, Missouri, which is so funny because like when I'm saying these towns, I feel like people are always like, you dance out there? Is there anything out there? That's kind of the point. It's kind of fun that way. But I'll be in St. Louis, Missouri the week after, and then I'll be at Foxy's Cabaret in Austin the weekend of May 8th. And then I think I'll be creating content in Vegas the week after. and then back into St. Louis and Amarillo, respectively. And then I think, I think the week after Vegas, I'm going to Phoenix, actually, to go dance out there.
You're booked. It sounds like you're pretty busy.
Yeah, I hate to say I'm like a hardcore planner, but like if you're not written in my schedule, it's probably not going to happen. So yeah, I like to plan my months in advance. I even have my cleaning days planned out. Like Tuesday is my cleaning day. It's written in every single one of my planners.
Dude, my cleaning days are like 2020, 2021. There'll be one in 2022.
It blows my mind at how dirty my house gets for the fact that I never am here.
My place is the same thing. It's annoying. And I will not hire a maid. Like I'm single, no kids, no like I'm like, no, dude, like am I that lazy? I can't clean like a 1.5 bedroom by my like.
No, it's awful. And then I come home and I literally have, because we drive everywhere. So I have a suitcase. I usually travel with my cat and my dog and my dance partner's dog. So together we have 3 animals on the road.
Wait. Okay, we met the dog. I'm a huge cat person. Can we get a little love?
You're gonna hate me. Punk is outside. He's an inside-outside cat. But
that's awesome.
His name is Punk Motherfucker.
Love it. PM.
Because no cat can have a normal name. Doesn't make sense that way.
It's a boy.
He is a boy. He has a spiked collar because he's a punk motherfucker. He is currently outside wreaking havoc on somebody else's life other than mine for the first time.
I'll give you a quick. So when I was a kid, the first pet that I encountered that my parents had, and he was grown up when I was born, but it was a male. For a cat, he was about 28 pounds, which is very large. He had 6 claws in front, 6 claws in back, and his name was Kissy Face.
You know what?
It was awesome. Like he was awesome. So that's my cat story. But good stuff all the way around, man. This was awesome today.
We've gotten him used to traveling. He's definitely not a huge fan of it.
No, cats don't like the car like the dogs do.
No. Well, he doesn't like the cage. He doesn't mind the car as much. Doesn't like the cage. He talks about that thing. Yeah. I want to get him one of those little bubble backpacks that you've seen where like it's a backpack in a cat cage, like a little alien thing.
I haven't seen that yet. I'll look for that.
Because I think it'll be fun. I'll just walk around with the cat on my back, the giant pit bull, Somebody's going to think I'm some crazy homeless woman.
Crazy cat lady homeless woman.
Crazy cat lady homeless woman with a giant pit bull. Makes sense.
Sounds like you live in California. Like I feel like I see that.
I only lived there for a short amount of time, but I think San Diego rubbed off on me more than I'd like to admit.
That's your superpower. And then what you do is like they say, hey, crazy cat lady. And suddenly you go find like a street pole and you do an amazing dance routine around the street pole. And they're like, holy cow, crazy cat lady, homeless woman is she's hot. She can move.
She can move that booty.
Did you guys see the video today, that kind of viral thing of the lion and the lioness, like big cats trying to just drink water from the river, and the turtle? The turtle that just keeps swimming up to their mouths and sticking his little head out of the shell, and the lions were just trying to kind of like move away from him. Like seriously, it's hysterical.
He's like, I just want to be a friend.
The guy with no social media knows all these viral videos.
Yeah, I'm like, hold on, I haven't seen this viral video yet, but apparently
it was on Yahoo though. It was on
2 applications on his phone.
It was on Yahoo's homepage though. Like
what?
I'm in fantasy baseball.
That's how I can tell you are not a technology person.
I'm in
because
fantasy
you have mentioned Yahoo's homepage at least twice in a 30-minute spare.
Because I got to get to my fantasy baseball, so I got to go there, then to sports, and it's almost like, dude, just find the link straight to your baseball page, and I'm like, that just sounds too time consuming. If I have to log in, like if there's any login username, like I'm out. Like that's done. Like not doing it.
I'll send you his AOL email later on. Rose.
Don't be mean.
I am.
Don't be mean.
Well, we're coming up on 2 hours right now, and I'm super stoked you were able to join us, Rose. This is fantastic.
No, this has been so much fun.
Guys, we've been scrolling through Rose's page here, showing you some of the amazing photos and hot stuff that she does. So please make sure to go check her out. It's Rose Isstar _X on Instagram. I'll also place a link in the video description to her all links where you can just find everything Rose Isstar online.
That's not Zuckerberg approved because obviously my Instagram is.
Yeah. And Brian, where can everybody find you?
I am very hard to find.
Very hard to find.
Apparently on AOL and Yahoo.com.
If you find me, look out.
Check out his fantasy baseball.
No, go to
very popular.
If you want to see some stuff that I do, go to constitutionpictures.com. It's my website.
There we go.
My film production company. I've got my feature film on there. If you go to YouTube and just Google "swapping ignorance" or Samson Crouppen into hemp, you'll find the. I don't know if Rose, did you see the random trailer before you came on of the crazy?
Yes,
dude?
Yeah.
That's a comedy show.
Like the foresty thing that was happening.
Perfect description.
Okay.
So
the forest
you can find me, but
were trees involved?
Yeah, she's right.
Well, she's right.
The cinematography was good, so that's probably why that stood out. And I did the cinematography. But if you find me, then you got to deal with me. So just pick your poison there, people.
Be aware.
Yeah.
Warning label included.
I love it.
So guys, you can go ahead and please make sure to subscribe to this video series that we're doing, Retouch This, every single Wednesday at 5 p.m. We'll have on new guests. Like I said, if you guys want to like the video, comment, share, and then also you can check out Rose Isstar. She was one of our cover models for Bikini Girl magazine. And if you guys want to help support, go to bikinigirlmagazine.com and we'll run the credits and you can see more about that. And Rose, I'm so stoked that you joined us today and really stoked for your success and everything like that. So
thank you, Rose.
Thank you guys so much. This has been an absolute blast. Definitely a lot of fun. My cheeks hurt, so I'm going to go relax, chill out. I'm still on the back end of celebrating 420, so I'm going to go take a bath.
Yes.
Very cool.
Copy that.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. And I'm going to roll the credits. Thanks for checking out this video, everyone. Did you know that for the price of a 6-pack of beer that you can get Bikini Girl magazine each month? That's right. You get the digital magazine downloadable to your phone or your desktop, as well as all the smoking hot, uncensored content from the shoots that I can't show on social media. Go to bikinigirlmagazine.com and sign up as a monthly patron. Or you can purchase individual issues via MagForest platform. Your support helps me continue to do all of these sexy shoots for you. The social media censors absolutely hate all of this content of beautiful women, so help spread the word to all your friends. Please make sure to like, comment, or share this video with some friends and click that subscribe button. Also, go follow Bikini Girl Magazine on our second YouTube channel and across social media to keep up with the latest hot babes.